We are talking about a movable C scale. So let us, first of all, review the C scale that we use because this movable form is based on it. However, the way we've been doing a C scale is using open strings, right? We're just going to do an octave. So we want to identify our starting point and our ending point. Today we're just going to do ascending. We're going to go from the lowest note in the scale to the highest note. So if it is a C scale, what note are we starting on?
C.
Yay! Let me mute everybody. We're starting on C. So where is and we're starting on middle C. Where is it?
Fifth fret of the bottom note.
There you go. There you go. And so we're actually on the C string. We're on the C string. And we're going to end with our C right here. So now we've already got two notes in the scale. C, C. That distance between the two, because I like to say music is about relationships, note relationships. That's called an octave. Let me make sure everybody's muted here. So now we have to connect the dots. So we've been doing this together. So our newbies, you just hang in there and watch my fingers. We've got C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So let's analyze something together before we actually get into the movable form. And what I ask myself, because I tend to learn this stuff intuitively, if charts don't always help me. So I ask myself, okay, this is a scale that is covering 3 strings, yeah? Although we can expand it to the G string and we can expand it by going this way, but we're not going to do that in this session. So it's covering the C, the E, and the A strings, yeah? How many notes are we playing on the C string? So ask yourself, we're playing 2. How many notes are we playing on the E string? 3. And how many notes are we playing on the A string? 3. Now, keeping that in mind, what we're going to do is a movable form, and we're going to be playing it in the key of D, which is one of the ukulele friendly keys. So I'm going to ask you, where is there a low D? Now we just did the C scale and it included a D. So it's right here. That's going to be the bottom of this scale. It's the foundation there. So then let's find the highest D in this octave. And where is it? I'm going to tell you. It's on the A string and it's on the 5th fret. That is an octave. This, by the way, is a trick that I use when I'm trying to figure out what notes are notes, because what notes are which, because I really don't know the notes very well. I'm very slowly learning them, but I know where a D is here, and that tells me this is a D. E. I use that interval is movable. So here's our low D, and there are 2 frets in between, and then I'm putting my baby finger here on the 5th fret. And I'm in finger picking position. So I'm playing low D, high D, low D, high D. Now we're going to connect the dots. And let me just tell you, this movable form covers 4 measures. So we're going to go from measure 2 to measure 5. So I think of measure 2, that's the left-hand margin. and that fret 5 is the right-hand margin of this particular form using 3 strings. So now remember, we identified that we played 2 notes on the C string, 3 notes on the E string, 3 notes on the A string. So let's keep that in mind. So now here's our D. Here's the first note in the scale, and then we're going to skip a fret. It might help to hum it. We're not necessarily going to identify what the notes are. I want to focus in on what the number is in the scale. I want to go to the universal language of music. So this is 1, 2, and I'm using my baby finger here. And by the way, with your right hand, keep it easy for now. Just use your thumb to pluck it. I go into my finger picking position, and when I'm practicing scales, I'll show you what I do. I use this classical guitar technique where I go, and it's a great finger exercise. So we're working towards that. So with your right hand, do whatever you can this week. So 1, 2. Okay, we've played our two strings, our 2 notes. Now let's go to the E string, and we know we're going to play 3 notes. So starting on that second fret, 3. Now, next fret, and then we skip a fret. So you see, we're getting kind of configuration here. Let's take it from the beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do it one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, our 3 notes. Now let's go to the A string, starting with the left margin. 6. Now we're going to skip a fret, and then the next fret. Now, we've talked about the major scale, how there is a mathematical formula that defines a major scale. Do you guys recall it was whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step? Some of you are probably going, what is she talking about? Let's look at the keyboard. Here's a C scale. Here's a C major scale here. And the distance between notes called an interval, this from C to the black note, to the C sharp, is a half step. From C to D is a whole step. So we have a whole step, whole step. From E to F, there's nothing in between. It's a half step. Whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. This is hard to see when we're doing a movable form like this. It's easier to see when we're actually making a scale on one string. Whole step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. And that's something you certainly can practice just to help get this glued into your brain. But this is a really cool way of doing a scale as well. So let me just show you one more time. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So for homework, try doing it descending, go down. And I put together something for you just to help out. I'm going to show you what it looks like. In fact, you know what? Let me screen share it, and I will put it in the email so you can make your own copy. I got my graphics software going. I'm so proud of myself that I could pull this off. I could not believe it. I'm getting kind of good at graphic software. So this is what the motif looks like. I did not want to show it to you from the get-go because I want you to picture this on your own ukulele. But here's a backup. So here's our D. And let me hang on. Here's our D right here. I hope you can see my mouse. That's the number 1 right there. There's our D. And then we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that is what it looks like. And for those of us who see things more visually, this might be very, very helpful to you. So I will send it to you in the email, and we're going to be cool. So here's the cool thing, the other cool thing about it. It's a movable form. So watch this. you can just go right down the fretboard. Now I'm chunking around because I'm actually used to doing a descending. So the ascending is a hard pull for me. So I can see where I need to work. But you can see how you can do this all the way up the fretboard. What, Jim, is this your kind of finger exercise?
Yes, it is. Uh, and then after you do that one, you can start on the minor scales.
Oh,
Really,
oh, okay. You're going to have to show us that one.